Hey family, it's me again. I am back. I'm back home and just got home from class. Haven't seen my students in 2.5 weeks, so it was great to be back in the classroom and to see all of them. My heart is just full, and I am super energized um, from my day at work. So, yeah, but I'm back sharing another reflection. Um, just some things that I've been thinking about. A small piece of advice that I kind of wanted to share, and also just my thoughts about where I am in life, um, in relation to my spiritual and psychological and emotional healing. And like I said, just a piece of advice that I've been thinking about based on how I've lived my life so far and where I go from here. So let me get into it because I'm rambling already. um, my I realized that at my Fulbright orientation here in Spain, I had shared basically one goal that I have, and I didn't intentionally um, um, avoid sharing a different goal. I just forgot about it. I literally wasn't thinking about it. I really just was focused on getting in the classroom. So my one goal that I shared really had to do with getting in the classroom and what I wanted to do in the classroom for my future career goals, right? But my other goal, while during the year 2024, doesn't is not specific to Spain. So maybe that's why I didn't bring it up. But my 2024 goal is to really get um, address some issues that over my lifetime, from the time I was 9 years old, I really have not invested the time in dealing with and addressing as a person. I've spent the majority of my life taking care of other people and um, doing for myself, caring for myself. Um, was always, six in line, right? Um, and six is pretty good, right? Because most people care for themselves. They're like number 20 or 25. So six is pretty good. But I lived my life for the most part, especially my adult life, with five priorities. And anything that was not within those five priorities, if I got to it, I got to it. But truth be told, it was really six priorities because I made a lot of conscious efforts to like watch what I ate. I didn't really focus on managing my weight as much as managing my internal um, health. And that included my spiritual health, my character, my integrity. But it also entailed watching and caring for what I ate. So, six top priorities. Anything outside of that kind of you just had to get in where you could fit in. So I feel like I did a decent job, but in terms of emotional and psychological health, and financial health to a big degree, right? Those things just went by the wayside. And what that meant was I gave a lot of grace, a lot of uh, patience, a lot of compassion, time. Time is a big commodity for me. Time is more important than money to me, right? And most people can probably tell that based on my financial condition most of my life is that I, I value and I've done a lot with a very limited amount of time. So I value time. And so I've given a lot to the things that were five on my list. And the reason is because I'm not God, right? I'm not God. I'm not a superhero. I'm not unlimited, invincible, or any of that. I have a limited amount, and we all do have a limited amount of almost everything that we can pour out for any given reason. So I limited my time that I could give to things that did not fall in my top five categories. I limited the amount of grace that I could give to anything outside of my top five categories. I limited the amount of um, even finances or compassion or energy or whatever it is that I had access to that I could produce within myself. I limited what I could give outside to anything that fell outside those five top priorities. And much of that included myself, right? So if I was number six, I basically got what was left over. Um, I am in a place in my life right now where my own well being has now replaced whatever was in those top five categories. Sorry. Those top five categories were my faith, God, right? God was number one, and He still is. Um, Number two was always my children. Number three was my mother. Number four was the church, whatever I had to invest in the church group that I was involved in. And then number five was always ministry, right? Church didn't always mean ministry. I did lots and lots and lots of ministry outside of church. And that had actually no connection to my church. So those were always my top five. Right now, my children are all on their own. They're doing their thing, right? I still have a child who's in college, so I have some responsibility for her, but I'm not raising any children anymore. My mom is gone. She was with Jesus. So I don't have the responsibility of my mother anymore. I don't have a church home. And I'm in a place where I haven't even established community yet. So I don't have those, four and five things. So four of my five things that I gave all of that to basically don't exist anymore. And I'm in a situation where I can replace myself. I can replace those four things with myself. So, what does that mean? That means that because I was number six for so many years, most of my life, much of what I should have given to myself did not get done. Um, because finances were not, that important to me, I had limited, very, very limited, and I still have very, very limited finances because I have a daughter in college besides the fact that I got to take care of myself. Um, so my hair didn't get done. My hair, I rarely go to get any kind of professional service to my hair. Anything like I can not afford to get my nails done, to get pedicures, to get massages, which I probably medically need, right? Anything that is self care related that costs money, I did not do for myself. Um, so at this point, at this juncture in my life, since I need, um, we're not even going to go into the time that I really needed to process a lot of the emotional um, trauma that I've dealt with over my year, over the, my lifetime. Um, the, we're not, y'all know how old I am. So, so at this point, I am trading one life for four, not four lives, but four areas of priority. I'm trading, and I actually need all of that. I need to take up four spaces on my priority list. So, what does that mean? The grace that I had to give, the time that I had to give, the compassion, the patience, the kindness, the whatever I invested in those four spots, it has to come to to one individual right now, and that's me. And therefore, I'm still limited on what I have to give to folks who are not in those four, in those top five spaces. And I need to be okay with that. I need to embrace that, and I need to make it clear to anyone else that my whatever I have to offer and have to give, it is limited. And the majority of that needs to come to me if I'm going to be um, the person that I know God really wants me to be. And the person that I need to be, even when I need to stop taking up so much space, the folks that are going to replace the space that I'm taking up right now, I need to do this for them. So, my advice is make sure you're putting a limit. And you have a limit. We all have limits. Make sure that people are not expecting you to be limitless. Some folks, one of the scriptures that I am living by in 2024, and I believe with all my heart God has given this to me because of some experiences that I had in 2023. Do not throw your pearls before swine, and don't give that which is holy to the dogs. Make sure you are giving what your values, your jewels, make sure you're giving it to the right folks. And that you are just not spreading all your goodness, all your grace, all your whatever it is to folks that don't recognize it, that don't appreciate it, and that are not going to do anything with it. Give it to the right priorities, give it to the right spaces, give it to the right people, and make sure you have a limitation on that, and make sure people understand what that limitation is. Okay? So, this is my declaration now. If you didn't know it before now, you know it now. My time, my grace, my compassion, my kindness, my patience, my excuses, you know, for whoever and whatever is limited. And everything that I gave to the spaces that were taken up before is going to me now. And it has to go to me. So I don't have limitless grace. And to be honest, the moment I realized that you don't appreciate or even recognize the value that I bring to a situation, I actually have very little grace for you at that point. And I'm not saying that I treat folks bad or that I don't have the characters of Jesus Christ. All I'm saying is I can't I can't do it. I can't do it. So I know I feel like I've rambled, but I hope I'm making my point, and I hope this is some advice for folks. I have taught many women how to narrow down their priority list of values so that boundaries can be effectively set. I hope that you take that along with this and make sure that the people on that list, the places, the situations, the experiences on that list actually deserve what you are pouring out. And there's ways to get along and to um, coexist with folks without letting them take whatever it is they need from you and the other folks and situations go lacking. There's a way to make sure that that happens. I've done it for decades. I've done it for decades. And it's going to be okay. All right? So, I love y'all. I'm working on me. So, when we talk and I sound like I don't have the energy or grace or compassion for certain situations, it's because I don't. And it's because, when my mother was alive and I had family and friend situations that I literally just could not put my energy into. And it was offensive to a lot of people. A lot of people took it personally. It was because I had to put that energy into my mom. I had to put that energy into my mom and my kids. I had to put that energy into my church where I was serving and where God had planted me. And what I had left over, a little bit was left for me. And a lot that I needed never got done, never got addressed, never got cultivated, never got um, nurtured. And so here I am taking up space that other folks probably want to take, and I got to take up space. It's time for me to take up that space. Take up space, my friends. Take up space. It's okay. Because other people are going to take up space as long as you let them, and they'll take up your space if you allow it. Do not give your pearls, don't throw your pearls to the swine, and do not give that which is holy, that which God told you to do for Him, to do for the people who are priority, and for your own healing. Do not give it to the dogs. I love y'all. Bye.